A blessed Christmas to you all. I want to welcome you to a Franciscan Christmas here at Christian Moerlein Brewery. Our neighbors who are most generous with their space and allow us to put this on every year. I'm Brother Tim. I'm kind of responsible for this whole thing, so I want to take you on a little tour of the displays here at Christian Moerlein. We Franciscans are followers of St. Francis of Assisi, and we call this display a Franciscan Christmas for that very reason. St. Francis of Assisi lived from 1181 to 1226. He made a great impact on the church, and basically at the heart of his spirituality was the incarnation, God becoming one of us. And as a result of Jesus coming into the world, all of creation experienced salvation, and all of creation was lifted up high to which it now reflects the glory, the love, the mercy, the goodness of God. So we're going to go now into the displays and show you a little bit more. We have now entered the heart of the Christmas nativity scene display. I'd like to show you a couple of them, and the first one I'd like to show you is over here. So we're going to take you over here and show you this one. This particular nativity scene has a very special place in my heart. In 1956, when I was but 3 years old and my brother was 4, we ended up spending Christmas with my grandparents because my mother was in the hospital over the holidays. My grandmother did everything she could to make that Christmas very special for us. But at the heart of everything was her nativity scene. And I can still see her on her knees preparing the stable and getting the statues out. And after that experience, my brother and I decided that we would save our pennies for the next year and buy a nativity set just like Grandma had. And we did, and here it is. In 1957, my father designed this wonderful stable which folds up neatly to pack away when it's not the holidays, and we bought the statues. My mother, God love her, she saved the receipt for the purchase. And she was a shrewd person because she got one of the Franciscan friars to purchase it for us, and they gave him a 20% discount. So all the statues that you see here cost $18. And I looked it up on the website. Today, that would be like over $200 today. So, and this was the beginning of the collection that you're about to see. In our display, we have nativity scenes from all over the world. And I'd like to point out a couple of them to you right now. This one down here is an Italian set. It's hand carved and hand painted. And it's a very unique set. Like my mother said, it's interesting to see how all the different people kind of just see it a little differently. And I agree with her wholeheartedly. That's what makes it very interesting. We have a little southwestern scene here from Southwest United States. We have, this is really from the UNESCO company here in the United States, and it's kind of their African American set. It's called Mahogany Miracle, and all the figures are black. And one of the most unique things about this set is they picture one of the wise men as a woman. A lot of women like that when they come and view this set. Here's another very unique one This one here, it's made out of different natural materials, and it's from the Philippines. One of the questions that I always get is, did you go to all these places? No, I have not, but I'm lucky to have a lot of friends who do travel a lot and bring home these for the display. This one down here, which I think is also very interesting, is from Ireland. And it surely gives you that Gaelic feel. It's stone and the like. Now, it was interesting that a gentleman who was doing some work for the Franciscans came by and saw the display one time, and a few days later came back with this, and he said, I noticed you didn't have anything from Ireland. I was just there and purchased this set, and I would love you to have it. So this has been in the collection for quite a few years now. The generosity of people. This one up here is from Peru, another unique set. This one is more Russian. This one is from Thailand. And what's unique about this is the glaze, the blue glaze that's on this set. The glaze comes from China, and it was developed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And that sort of craftsmanship still exists today. One of my favorite sets is this one from Kenya. And the reason I love it so much is because the Mary figure here is such a strong figure, just a very strong figure. And so that's why I like that very much. This is from Tanzania. Once again, a friend of mine who was traveling to Tanzania brought this home for me. Once again, another powerful set of figures. This one here is unique in that it was created by the Colombian artist Botera. And Botera is famous for all his sculptures to be real fat. And so if you notice that all the figures in this display are rather hefty. And once again, this was a gift from some friends of mine when I was stationed in Detroit. And they had come and saw the display up there. And a few days later, what they did is they called their son, who was in Colombia at that time, and said, we need a nativity scene from Colombia. A few days later, they came back and added this to the collection. Our provincial brought this one home from the Philippines when he was visiting over there. This one here is from Uganda. This is from the Southwest United States, which I think it's interesting. Once again, one of the wise men is a Native American, one's a cowboy, and one looks like a Spanish, not a conquistador, but a Spanish kind of person. This one up here is also unique in that it was carved by one of our priests many, many years ago. And somebody had it, and they said, we think you should have this. So I think it's handmade, and it's from one of our friars, so it's really nice. Most everybody should know the name Yadro, a Spanish porcelain artist. And this set is done by Yadro, and it's all porcelain, and most of it was a gift, once again, from friends and family, and it really is a beautiful set. This set is done by another popular group of people called the Fontanini family, an Italian-based company. And they put out, this is not a set that you buy all at one time. This is a set where they put out different pieces every year. So it's kind of a collector's sort of thing. There's a couple of great stories about this set. One time I met one of the Fontanini boys, Marco Fontanini, and he was signing pieces, and I had him sign one of my pieces, and I said to him, "Can I show you pictures of my display?" "Oh yeah, sure, I'd love to see it." So I'm showing him my display, and as he's looking at the pictures, he says, "Oh my goodness." I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "You have more pieces than I do." The other great story about this, we had a parishioner here at St. Francis. She was well into her 90s. She was a very wealthy woman. And one day she came to church one Sunday, and she came up to me and she kind of nudged me. And she said, "Hey, I got a question to ask you." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "This nativity," it was this one, "did you do that?" "Yes, ma'am, I did." She says, "You wouldn't lie to me, would you?" "No, ma'am, I wouldn't do that." She said, "Well, you don't look like you can put two beans together, but that's simply gorgeous." So it is a great story, but this is kind of at the heart of the whole display, and people pretty much gravitate to this particular scene. Many people, when they come to see the display, ask me what is my favorite one. And I tell them I don't really have a favorite one, but there are many pieces that I have that are favorites of mine. And one of them here, I think this, I guess he would be like a camel tender. And he's kind of looking out down the way to see what's going on. And I think he's just such a powerful figure. It's just powerful. So he's one of my favorites. Of course, this one over here, this is kind of one of the trademarks of Fontanini. This woman here with a basket of fruit. She's in every one. They have different sizes. They have life size. They have smaller sizes. And she appears in every one of their things. The other thing that I thought was, one year they put out children. And so way up there by the stable, you can see 3 children just hovering around the manger there. And I think that was really wise of them, because children would be part of this. So anyway, and once again, I think this one, I think more than any of them, really speaks to the spirituality of St. Francis, where all of creation, it benefits from the incarnation, Jesus becoming one of us. So here you just kind of have everybody. So you got people down here in the market selling things. You got people fishing. You've got people down here, and this is a hotel. You've got a baker and a potter maker, and all like. So you have sheep, and you have goats, and you have an ox and an ass. So you have all of creation really represented here. So it's very unique, and it's very Franciscan. Once again, this set was also a gift from one of our parishioners here at St. Francis who was downsizing. And she said, "I'd really like for you to have this." Of course, I'm always ready to accept gifts. And I think it's just beautiful here. And when she saw it over here, she said, "Oh, it looks much better here than it ever did at my house." So anyway, this is from the United States, you know. These are kind of mass produced and everything, but it still is a lovely set. This scene here is kind of at the center of the displays here. And what makes this unique, first of all, these are different pieces. They come from different things. So I put them together to make this scene. But the baby in the center of this is from Spain. And many years ago, it was the tradition in every Franciscan church to have a baby like this, and it would be placed over the tabernacle at the main altar during the Christmas season. So this is one of those remnants of that tradition. In this little corner, tucked away in the displays here, are some of the smaller nativities that have become a part of the collection. And many of them are extremely unique. For example, this one down here is made out of coal from the mines down in Kentucky. So that makes that unique. And then we have Native American, we have another one from Colombia, we have from India, this is from Ecuador, this is folk art from Kentucky, this is from Vietnam, the West Bank, and this one down here was made by my niece. So it's handcrafted. I don't know if it's crochet or knitting. I'm not quite sure which one it is, but it is very unique. This also is one of my favorites too. This is from Spain. And I just think it has just a beautiful look to it. Simple, but yet elegant. So this. So we've tried to include a lot of traditions, Christmas traditions here in our display. Right now, we're sitting in the living room, a little homey little place. And we have our beautiful tree in the background here with all kind of ornaments from all over the place. We have our little fireplace. And in the background, you see a picture window, which a friend of mine, Joe Pierce, painted that for us as part of this display. So it's homey. A lot of people when they come to the displays, like to sit here and just kind of chill out. And it's a great place. As we come into this section of the Christmas displays, we come to the little lighter side of Christmas. And yet, they're displays that probably everybody has had some experience with in their traditions of Christmas. One of the things that I always longed for was a little Christmas village underneath the Christmas tree. Well, here it is, only it's not a village and it's not a city. It's a greater metropolitan area now. Thanks to many fine benefactors, here you have it. Back in the mid-1980s, I was managing a shelter for homeless people in Dayton, Ohio. And at our staff Christmas party one year, somebody came in and gave me a present. And the present was a Santa Claus. And she said to me, "I notice you collect Santa Clauses." And when I thought, I do? Well, I do now. And here is the Santa Claus collection. All different kinds of Santa Clauses, St. Nick's, and the like. It's a lot of fun. Here we are at the tree dedicated to the friars of the province of St. John the Baptist. The ornaments are basically pictures of every friar who are a member of our province. So people like to come here and pick out the friar that they know, and so it takes some time. And it represents people from all over the country and in our foreign mission in Jamaica. And so it's just a great tribute to the friars and their ministries throughout the country. There was a time, not too long ago, when I could pretty much put all these decorations up by myself. As I'm getting older, emphasis on older, I'm not able to do that anymore. So I have quite a few volunteers who come and help. My cousin Jean comes every year and is just a big help in putting up these decorations. And this is one of her trees that she works on very diligently. We call it the crystal tree. Of course, there's no crystal on there. They're all pretty much plastic, but it has a beautiful look. So it's another one of our trees that you can come and enjoy here at a Franciscan Christmas. This little tree here is a very special tree in that the ornaments on this tree are designed by our students from St. Francis Seraph's School. Our art teacher, Cedric Cox, inspired our children to create these lovely things. Our school is one of our very important ministries down here. And if you come down, the admission is free. But donations to support our school and our parish church are welcome. trees that you see here in the background, and they decorate the entrance to the Greater Metropolitan Village, are decorated with hallmark ornaments. When I first came here to St. Francis Seraph Priory, I discovered a huge box of hallmark ornaments in the attic. Nobody claimed them. So I thought that they needed to come out of the box and be displayed for Christmas, and they have been probably for the last 14 years. So they're very interesting. And over the years, people have given more hallmark ornaments. No Christmas display is complete without a train display. And here for the young and for the young of heart, we have our train display. These trains, this train that's going around right now was part of a collection by one of our friars who has since passed away. And of course, I inherited all the trains. This display here was put together by a couple of my volunteers. Two gentlemen who are retired, and they have just gotten into this whole heart and soul, and they built this display here. And they take care of putting all this together every year. And I think they enjoy it more than they would even say. So we thank our volunteers. As I said earlier, these displays would not be possible without help. And this train display has become the project of two of my volunteers, Steve Rollinger and Tom Tucker. And they've kind of taken this whole thing over and made it their own. This display here in the middle, they built last year and built the whole little thing, and it's really made a great addition to our display. And right now, they're already planning for another edition for next Christmas. So we thank our many volunteers. I'd also like to mention another one of our volunteers, Pete Werner, who joined our crew this year and has been a big help with all the things that you see here. So, great volunteers. You can make a reservation to come to see the displays in person by going to St. Francis Seraph Parish's website and signing up. Also, you can kind of just show up, and depending on how many people show up, because we want to be conscious of social distancing, we want people to wear masks to keep everyone safe. The hours, first of all, the opening day is November the 27th. And on that day, that's the day after Thanksgiving, on that day, the displays will be open from noon until 7 p.m. The rest of the holiday season, the times of being open will be Fridays from 4 to 7, Saturdays noon to 7, and Sundays 1 to 7. So if you're in the area, please stop by.